Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here, and today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Pokémon FireRed. Last time we started properly going around Pewter City. Okay, today we'll continue doing that. Well, first we'll actually start with the Poké Mart, if I recall correctly. Friendly shop in Japanese. But yeah, then we'll continue going around the city. I doubt we'll finish it today, considering that there's a certain something there, other than, of course, at the end. We have to tackle that to continue the game, so yeah. The latter, definitely, we won't be able to do it. But yeah, without further ado, let's start. And you see what I'm talking about when we see it in-game. Other than, of course, if you have already played. Oh yeah, the usual antidotes. Exiting the forest. Actually exiting the forest, as you can see, the changing direction. Arrived at Pewter City, Nibishi. Ah yeah, I saved in front of the shop. So yeah, let's check the NPCs inside here, where I quickly show the contents of the shop. We'll check these items when we get them. Yeah, we don't have much money anyway, because I spent a lot of it for Pokeballs, potions, and then antidotes, thinking that we would use them for Vivian Forest, but then we actually went back to here because of the various things. But yeah, we'll check the rest when we actually get them. We should be able to find them around anyway. Yeah, no reason to get them. So yeah, let's actually talk to the NPCs here. This one says, Yowai Pokemon Demo, Isshokenmei Sodatereba. And yeah, first and foremost, we have Yowai. This we should have seen before, if not the adjective, actually the verb, maybe. But yeah, the adjective, means weak, frail, delicate, and so on, accented. So yeah, after it we have Pokemon, so yeah, weak Pokemon. Then we have the particle demo. Demo, as we have seen, technically speaking, more than strictly a particle would be, well, can be technically also a combination of the particle the actual particle the, and the inclusive particle more also even. Here most likely the origin is actually the form of the copula, and then the inclusive particle, so yeah. Even being that the case, and so on, but yeah, regardless, the meaning is simply, well, is even a stronger one technically than more on its own. More is more a simple also. But yeah, after that we have Isshokenmei, which is a Chinese compound, but actually not in the usual sense. When I mention those, usually we see the more common ones, the ones of 2 kanji. You know, this is a bigger compound of 4 kanji. But yeah, they all use Chinese readings. And yeah, actually, Issho, we have seen also on its own, I think. Isho on its own is a Chinese compound as in 2 characters, unaccented, so as most of those are, which means literally one life, in the sense of all life, a lifetime, all through life, or can also be the greatest whatever of one's life. Then we have this Kenmei, technically also a Chinese compound, so yeah, we simply, to make the bigger one, combine 2 Chinese compounds in this case, also unaccented on its own. Kenmei means eager, earnest, and so on. An adjective, technically. And yeah, so Isho Kenmei, the accent is on the first mora of the second word part of the compound. Yeah. In this case, we apply the usual rules of compounds in general, and yeah, usually that's the case. So yeah, on the K, and yeah, combining the 2 meanings, yeah, it actually mostly the meaning of Kenmei with the specification of Isho through one's life and so on. But yeah, it actually means very hard, as in the sense with utmost effort, as hard as one can, and so on. Yeah, actually a good translation in a way would be that for dear life, among the ones present here, then we would have also the meaning of Isho specifically. It's worth mentioning that actually the me of Kenmei, actually mei or me, depending on the pronunciation, in standard Japanese nowadays it would be long e simply, but there's also the other variant. I wanted to mention that kanji also has a meaning of life, but we'll see it when the time comes for it. But yeah, so we have that this, and yeah, here technically is also can also be an adjective, but yeah, here used simply as an adverb, as is, without even additions. Yeah, but I can mention, by the way, that which is a term also shown by the online dictionary, Isho Kenmei is a Yoji Jukugo, which simply means, funny enough, another, also technically a word of this kind, Yoji. Actually, I think accent is simply then on the well, usually not used on its own, but yeah, would be accented on the first mora if it were, would be my guess. Technically, numeral plus counter combination for character. And then Jukugo, this one is actually also quite used, unaccented. Compound, more specifically in linguistic, kanji compound. Then also more simply idiomatic phrase. But yeah, so literally for character, kanji compound. For character compound, more strictly speaking. But yeah, wanted to mention it. And by the way, also to show again the accent of those. This one, Yoji Jukugo, is also accented on the Ju, so on the first more of the second word part of the compound. But yeah, as an adverb, as we have seen, yeah, after it we have straight up a verb, sodatereba. Sodateru, this one we have seen before for sure. And also mentioned and or seen. The intransitive form is sodatsu. Sodateru is the transitive again. Intransitive in u, transitive in the transitive is to raise, to bring up. Ru verb is a verb, so we can change the U into E to make, we will call it, technically would be the realis form. Nowadays we can simply call it conditional because yeah, it's the most common usage is actually to make, well, the fundamental usage is technically to then add ba and make one of the forms of the conditional in Japanese. The one with ba, well, can be if, when, so actually not just the conditional but also with temporal meaning, similar to English. This one is the closest to the first conditional, but we have seen that it doesn't have to necessarily be the case. But let's say it's the most generic one technically. But yeah, then, well, so the translation so far is if, when, you implied raise even weak Pokemon, and then we have the Ishokeme. So yeah, we as with utmost effort, however you want to translate that, with all your might and so on, very hard. And then it continues. And then it simply says Ikoto Arusa. I wonder if this is actually a reference to a certain Pokemon in particular. But yeah, here it continues simply by saying we have E accented, E adjective, which means good. Also has the alternative form Yoi, is the one used more often than not nowadays for the dictionary form, the terminal form. Yoi is used for the conjugation. So yeah, quite important to keep both in mind. After it we have Koto, thing as in matter, so yeah, good things, good thing. It's a plural simply because generic, but yeah, by the way, again, words in Japanese can be singular or plural without changes. We can specify the plural by adding certain suffixes and so on, but yeah, it's not necessarily required. Then last but not least we have Aru, to be as in to exist, of inanimate things, so yeah, thing. Or matter in our case here, can also be translated then, because of that, there is, there are. Last but not least we have the final sentence particle sa, which means, well, in this case actually simply indicates assertion, mainly masculine, as we have seen before, but yeah. So yeah, actually perfect for this koto. Can also be found, funny enough, the example shown in the dictionary as koto and then sa immediately. But yeah. So yeah, we have seen that if you raise even weak Pokemon with utmost effort, or however you want to translate it, Shokemme, there are, or better, by adapting it, I'd say, good things happen. You know, literally in Japanese here simply there is, there are, or better we could say there will be, with a future, because yeah, the present can be used as a simple future also in Japanese. Good things. And yeah, I wonder if it's a reference specifically to that Pokemon But yeah, we'll see it when the time comes. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Then this one, on the other hand, says Inchiki Kusai Oji-san kara Nandaka Henna Pokemon o. Yeah, even more so actually, considering this, I think that the NPC at the bottom was talking about this. But yeah, first we actually have this Inchiki. The chi, the E of chi should be barely heard if at all, by the way, because it's within a voice consonants. But yeah, this is technically noun, I'd say more of an actually an adjective. Accented on the first mora, inchiki. Which means cheating, fraud, well no, actually so technically now. Trickery, deception. And yeah, here, then we have actually, I say now straight up, inchiki as the adjective, because after it we have kusai, also the U barely heard if at all because it's between a voice consonants. This one accented, so the sa. It means stinking, smelly. By extension, also suspicious, fishy. Yeah, so funny enough, similar to English. It's worth mentioning that suspiciously, funny enough, kusai. Notice that it starts with kusa. I wonder if it's related to grass. Could be just a coincidence, but I wonder if. Actually, let's see if I can actually straight up find it in Wiktionary. At the very least, it can be used as a mnemonic. Okay, let's try to search for. Oh yeah, actually, if not actually with kusa directly of grass, most certainly related to kusaru, to rot, and potentially also kuso, crap. Yeah, it's that. You'll hear it as an expletive interjection in the most common one, I say, but yeah, literally crap. So yeah, also. Yeah, just like in English can be used in that sense as well. But yeah. So yeah, literally here we have smelling, well, of a fraud, or we could also consider it, despite the lack of conjugation, inchiki as the first adjective, so yeah, straight up, then cheating and suspicious. And then we have the term oji-san. You should have seen it before. Originally, it's the term for uncle. Notice the O at the start, so yeah, it's the honorific term for uncle, respectful specifically. The usual matter also of used technically in a familiar way. Other than for someone else's uncle. But then, quite often, as we can see here, used for an Mr., a generic more than actually old man, it would be a middle-aged man. Yeah, there's this usage of it. Oji-san, by the way, unaccented. Yeah, so a cheating, suspicious, fraudulent, suspicious man. Then we have the particle Kara from. Then we have Nandaka. We've seen it before. It's somewhat different. Well, the starting point is the usual one, Nani. Nani has the interrogative pronoun what. Here also then contracted because then we had da. So actually the copula in speech. Then we have ka, the interrogative particle. Could also be used technically, as we have seen, the interrogative particle for indirect questions. But yeah, notice the da in the middle, which slightly changes the meaning. Because yeah, usually with when we add the ka as to interrogative pronouns, for example in the case of nani, nani ka, the accent stays on the na regardless, on the first more. Yeah, that doesn't change no matter what we add after. Nanika by adding ka we get the corresponding some word, so actually in this case something. Not somewhat. Although funny enough, this one is more somewhat. Somewhat in the sense of a little. Yeah, we have to use this instead. But yeah, of course, with simple ka we get something because yeah, it's the more fundamental meaning. Like for example, for the interrogative dare, who, we will get by adding ka, dare ka, someone, some who, no, of course, that one straight up isn't used. So yeah, someone in that case, so yeah, for Nanika, something. This one actually somewhat is in the sense of a little. And yeah, used as an adverb. Then we have a hen. As we can see here, an adjective. Straight up uses is a Chinese a single kanji with its Chinese reading, in this case, hen. Hen accented. And the accent can stay only on the he. It can stay on the nasal mora, like it can stay on the longer vowel of long vowels, or it can stay on small tsu, so the tapping of the following consonants, and so on. Means strange, odd, peculiar, and so on. By extension, technically also unexpected. But yeah, usually more often than not, strange. And yeah, as we can see straight up here, na adjective, so we add na to then attach it to the following word, following noun, which is Pokémon. So strange Pokémon. Somewhat strange Pokémon. Then we have the object particle o, written as one, pronounced as such in careful speech, so also singing. Oh yeah, so far we have a somewhat strange Pokemon from a cheating, fraudulent, suspicious man. Of course, that will be I got, I received, and so on. Well, straight up in this case, actually, katsata, katsata yo, from kau. this one unaccented to buy. The accented one, because there's an accented cow in that case, so cow, low, high, because of the rule. First mora, if it's low, the second one is high. The other way around, the first one is high, the second one is low. Well, in that case, it's because of the rules of the accent, but also because of this. But yeah, that cow means to keep a pet, to raise a pet. But yeah, more often than not, you'll actually see this one, cow, unaccented, because it means to buy. Verb, code verb. We have to make the T form. Here can be seen properly because of contraction and further conjugation and then contraction. Oh yeah, T form. Verbs in U, straight up U as the final mora. Were actually in Pu. So yeah, it became we changed the U into I, capita. Well, capite, sorry, the form in this case. I was saying for the ta form, but the conjugation is the same. But yeah, capite. The I fell, capte, difficult to pronounce, simply became the doubling of the following consonant. So, capte. The form required because then we had shimatta, shimau. To end, to finish, on its own also to put away. But yeah, after the form of a verb, it keeps the meaning to finish, to end, into with two specific meanings. To finish as in do completely, or more often than not, this is the latter is the most common meaning. To end up doing, like in our case here, to end up buying. After it, well, shimau, unaccented, verb, code verb, another one in U, so actually originally pu, So, to make the ta form, again, double consonant ta. Ta form, so past form of the verb in plain speech. The extended form would be katte shimatta. Te shi becomes contracted, becomes kachi matta. There's also that shorter contraction. This one is further. Chimau becomes then simply chau. Here then chatta. Last but not least, the final sentence particle yo. You know, certainty, emphasis, and so on. But yeah, so you mentioned that they ended up buying a somewhat strange Pokemon from a fraudulent, suspicious man. And yeah, here's we can now see straight up the connection. Because it says Suge Yowai no. And yeah, first and foremost we have Suge, which actually comes from Sugoi. Would be Sugoi. Then we have also this doubling of the G to put even more emphasis on it. We have seen Sugoi accented, means technically also terrible. More often than not, actually, terrific. So yeah, then amazing, great, and so on. Well, in this case, technically, is actually in the former sense. Usually nowadays you'll find it more for terrific, but yeah, no. Here is terrible, technically. Well, we could say still technically it becomes simply also awfully. That would be, or a more generic, very technically, immensely. notice, by the way, that here we have this change. Sugoi, OE becomes actually long E. Oh yeah, this is a variant found in spoken Japanese. Actually, also due to dialects and so on. But yeah. So yeah, here as the adverb, okay, so yeah, awfully. Yowai again, so yeah, awfully weak. Then last but not least, we have no thing as in fact nominals for verbs. Technically, here at the end, so actually I'd say as a particle technically. Here definitely with a falling tone, have an exclamation. So technically a confident conclusion can also be used for emotional emphasis, and that in that case is a female term or language. With a rising tone can be used as for questions, replacing the usual ka particle. For that one is the standard one, but yeah, you can find also no. But yeah, here so simply is it's awfully weak. Then he mentions 500 yen mo shita no ni. First and foremost, we have 500, 500. Yeah, we have go 5, and then the 400, 100. 100 on its own accented on the last mora. And yeah, luckily in this case of 500 and several other ones, there are exceptions. The accent stays on the ku, so yeah, go 100. After it we have n, so actually the yen. Yen is pronounced like that in other languages because of it's from a past pronunciation of n. Yeah, nowadays with the changes in it has become n in contemporary Japanese, and we have studied its kanji thanks to this very series. I wouldn't find it anyway on the physical dictionary. We have seen that while there are, I think there were some exceptions, but you see it again eventually. The tendency was that to make with n for it to be unaccented. Hopefully that's the case also here. Go 100 yen. Either way, I would say in this case, most likely we would technically keep the accent of go 100 on the ku, regardless of it being because of due to the n, so before the n itself, or just because of go 100, most likely the former, but regardless. So yeah, 500 yen. Then we have the inclusive particle mo also. Then we have shita from the verb suru, to do. In this case, most likely, I'd say to do as in make, well actually, then we can simply make, but in the terms of cost. So yeah, technically, yeah, it's one of the many extended meanings of suru. To be worth, to cost. Suru completely regular, so we simply have to remember that its continuity form is shi, and then that we luckily simply attach that to the continuity form to make the past form, theta form, so past form of the verb in speech. Here actually required because then we had noni, a particle, which means although, even though, and yet, despite, yeah, then we have the suspension dots. Well, it's worth mentioning that actually when using noni, especially here at the end of a sentence, more often than not it indicates regret of some kind. It can also be if only, I wish, better if only, let's say. In the sense of something that isn't true, but one wishes, one would like for it to be true. But yeah, still, in general, I would say kind of regret. Yeah, so here the meaning is clearly it costed also even 500 yen. So yeah, he's regretting that he ended up buying it. And yeah, so we had that. So yeah, we'll actually see it eventually, and we'll actually intentionally buy one of those. Oh yeah, we can leave the shop. Okay, we can start going around, continuing going around Pewter City properly here. We should have already spoken. No, actually I haven't. Okay. I did a mistake. We actually restarted from there. So yeah, we actually started with this one. There's also this sign and that NPC, but yeah, at this point, although it makes more sense to, because yeah, as you have seen, that NPC brought us in front of this. I'd say it makes more sense to check out the house first. Yeah, let's do that. You got a preview, yeah, then we'll speak to that NPC again, and by saying no, it brings you there. Yeah, first let's check the house. Let's talk to the man. Who says, Uchi no Pokémon Yosomo no Dakara Kimuzukashii yo. First and foremost, we have Uchi. Again, in this case, I suspect it's simply because Uchi can also be used as a pronoun, a first-person singular pronoun. But that one is in Kansai dialect, usually used by women and children primarily. I suspect this is more simply as in one's house, home, family by extension, or household. So as in one's family, regardless, by the way, is unaccented. Uchi uses a different kanji in this case for the one's house and so on. Compared to the other one for I. Its fundamental meaning of the other one is inside, within, but we'll see it again. But yeah, then possessive particle no. So yeah, I'd say in this case would make more sense of our family, our families. Then we have Pokemon again. Then we have this Yosomono. Which means, well, technically would be a compound. The mono at the end, well, we'll see it in a second. First we have Yoso. accent and the last more. So that's actually peculiar because, as we have seen, it's one of the exceptions because actually this yo so should be still a Chinese compound. Also somewhat different in its pronunciation anyway, because the so is actually the one for show, as we have seen, place and so on. Tokoro, it's the Japanese reading. Yeah, so the meaning of yo so means another place, somewhere else, and so on. By extension, actually, outside one's family or group. Oh yeah, so that. And then we had mono, this one, not the one for thing, as in object, the one for person, usually used as a suffix, or in compounds, we could say, in general, like in this case, usually not used on its own, also to avoid confusion with the other one. But yeah, so we have this literally outside person, outside as in one's family or group, person. So yeah, stranger, outsider. Yosomo no becomes unaccented as a compound, so be careful. I don't remember, let me actually get the physical dictionary. Okay, got the physical dictionary. Want to check the accent of when adding mono after as a proper suffix. In this case, it might be an exception because it might be considered a generic compound. Usually it would be actually accented either on the no of mono or on the mo. So in the other case would be with the accent on mo would be because of the rules of compounds. Let me see if I can actually see it properly when it's one or the other. 12, okay. In the meantime, while I check, I can mention that we studied the kanji of actually both mono. And by the way, if you want to review them, exactly today, I've added my kanji list also to Patreon. There you can find straight up the full kanji list of the kanji we've studied in our Let's Learn Japanese with series. I'll update it. I'll still continue to add also the kanji to the description of playlists in case you prefer that. But yeah, so for those who want to review them or study them for the first time, you can find there the specific series and episodes and parts. But yeah, I was checking out here. Okay, here it is. Okay. No, I can't see it. But yeah, regardless, in our case here it simply becomes a compound in general. And it's an accent, so yeah, be careful. Then we have the copula da kara here as a conjunction because by the way, da kara can also be used straight up as a conjunction. Here it's actually straight up required technically the copula because we have a noun, yosomono, and then kara. So as usual, but yeah, it can be used, can be found straight up as a conjunction. Also radiuses. So yeah, in that case, because it is that because that's the case. But yeah, then we have a key. Here, clearly not the 1 for 3 that we have also studied, the kanji accented one. This is the one unaccented for spirit, mind, and so on. Then we have muzukashi. E adjective should be accented. Yes, it is. It means difficult, hard, as in the sense of difficult. This is the one used on its own. We have seen other E adjectives with the meaning difficult, but those are used with together with verbs, as we have seen. This is the one usually found on its own. And then as the final sentence particle. So here is saying because our Pokemon, our family's Pokemon is a stranger, is an outsider. Literally, it's implied it's spirit, mind, and so on. We could say character, persona, well, character, but in this case, let's say is difficult. Yeah, we can continue. And then it says, Yosomo no te no wa hito to koukan shita Pokemon da yo. Yeah. Yosomo no again. Then we have te, the casual quoting particle, so as instead of the usual to. As you have seen, actually, this te can also replace other things. In this case, let's say actually not just to, but to you. So by adding you, the verb which means to say. So yeah, say technically, then to, and before that the quotation, or in this case simply we could say what's being defined. Then we have no one thing, as in thing in general, but yeah, one also is the pronoun. Wa written as ha, the topic particle. Then we have hito, person. The I barely heard it at all. Unaccented. We've studied the kanji of this as well. Then we have to here as a with. So it can be used as a with in the sense of technically a quote, so as the quoting particle, or straight up with, as in with a person. But yeah, if you think it in these terms, it's easier to remember that to has both functions. But yeah, here with a person. Well, actually, with people, we could say more in general, because yeah, here it's generic. Then we have koukan, quite an important term for Pokemon games, because yeah, it means trade. Chinese compound, pretty sure it was an accent like most of those, it is. More in general would be exchange, switching. But yeah, in Pokemon games, trade. A noun, we can turn it into a verb by adding suru, so literally to exchange, do trade, so yeah, to exchange, to trade, and so on. Here again, it's the form, so shita, after that we have Pokemon, so yeah, actually relative close. The relative close, of course, in this case actually we exclude the topic, which is at the start and is about the whole sentence. So the relative close goes from hito to shita. And yeah, referred, it's put before Pokemon because yeah, it modifies that. So yeah, the usual rule in Japanese of the modifier before the modified applies to relative clauses like we've seen here. Before we've seen the possessive particle same position, so yeah, someone, possessive particle, that's something that someone has, uchi no Pokemon, for example, our Pokemon, our family's Pokemon. Yeah, then we have simply da, the copula, and yo is the final sentence particle. So yeah, as for outsiders, what I'm called, as for yosomo no, and defining what yosomo no is in this case, it's Pokemon, or their Pokemon more in general, traded, that you traded with people. Okay, that. And then it says, Sodatsu no wa hayai ga chikara no nai toreina no. Then it continues by first we have Sodatsu. To raise, well, to bring up the intransitive in this case. No, to nominalize it, the thing, factor. We could simply say then to raise, to bring up, raising, bringing up. And we have the topic particle wa. Hayai. Hayai can mean, depending on the kanji, early. That's the one we have actually already studied. The more common one, although, is definitely the one for fast, quick, more in general. Then we have ga, here as a conjunction, but can also be used to introduce, to have an introductory remark, and so can also be translated as and in some contexts, but yeah, strictly speaking it would mean but. And then we have chikara. Chikara means strength. By extension also ability, capability. We have seen it in Kirby's Adventure, for example, with that meaning. Chikara accented on the last mora. Don't think in this case. I'm not sure though, because this no after it is actually not the usual possessive, but the replacement, it can be used no as a replacement of ga, the subject particle, in relative clauses. Yeah, as we see, this will be is a relative clause, as we'll see in a second. I'm not sure if then the rule applies. I think not. I'd say not, but I don't think I've straight up seen it mentioned before. My guess would be no. So yeah, chikara no nai. So low, high, high, up to ra included, and then everything else low. After it, regardless, we have nai, the adjective, which means non-existent. and can also be used as a replacement of the negative of aru. Instead of conjugating aru, we straight up replace it with the adjective, which has the same meaning. To non-existent, aru to be as in to exist, as we already mentioned. Nai, non-existent. Aru, by the way, can also be used in the structure implied, maybe not necessarily always present. Someone wa, something ga, aru. So as for the someone, the something literally exists. So actually used to make the meaning that someone has that something. It's the fundamental way to say have in Japanese. But yeah. After it we have torena, so yeah, actually as mentioned, relative clause, and we have seen it also because of the no after chikara. Then we have no. Here I'd say should be as the possessive particle. We'll see then the rest of the sentence. But yeah, as for bringing their growth, by adapting it, their bringing up, it's faster. But trainers who don't have strength, ability better in this case. Literally, as for trainers who, for whom ability isn't present, that doesn't exist. But yeah, trainers that don't have ability. Okay. Actually, again, is actually the no, as we have mentioned, replacing ga technically, because after it we have you, as already mentioned, to say. After it koto, so strictly speaking we have again a relative clause, and that's why we would have the no there. Well, sorry, no, we can also see it in a easier way, because it would be weird to have this. Well, it's possible to do it, but it is kind of excessive even for Japanese. Here we can see it simply as trainer, so possessive particle no, and then you koto as on its own. So yeah, the verb still in attributive position, but on its own. And then koto, so yeah, literally things said that said things. Here we have the verb in the present, but yeah, in English we have to adapt it regardless. After that we have the topic particle wa again. Here actually could be, by the way, required because of the following negative. Because yeah, that kikan comes from kiku, to hear, to listen to verb con verb, so we can change the u into a to make the irrealis not yet state form. We could say negative form of the verb, yeah, because it's required to by adding then negative, usually nai in contemporary Japanese, but yeah, there's also this n, which comes as is an abbreviation from classical negative auxiliaries. Simply so. just like nai, then gives the negative meaning to the verb. Yeah, so what he's saying here, they're fast, they grow up fast, but as for things said by, you can adapt it, trainers who don't have the ability, the Pokemon, don't listen to them. Yeah, so that. And then he says, Badzi sae areba. So yeah, he's mentioning us about, get to hear that here, because of this, Badzi, badge from English. I think we should have checked it. We have definitely seen it before. I don't remember if we had confirmed if it was possible. Let me see with the physical. Well, first, actually, the online dictionary. If it was present already here. Actually, it was perfect. Yeah, accented just like in English. Then we have the particle sae. Yeah, more often than not. Well, sae can also have, in other contexts, the meaning even. Usually, actually, as in not even. So, for example, the example shown in the online dictionary, she did not come even as far as my house. So, in that sense, here we actually see the other usage with a conditional clause, with the ba at the end there. So it indicates the only thing needed. So if only, as in the sense. Yeah, so if only, as in the badge, a badge is the only thing needed. So yeah, if only. Areba, so yeah, aru again, u verb con verb, so we can change again, that's it, u into e to then add ba. So yeah, if only, literally there was a badge, if only we had a badge. So yeah, we have checked that out. We take our usual break now, around 5 minutes, most likely slightly less. After that, we'll talk to the kid, the Pokemon here. Yeah, then we'll continue outside Pewter City. Yeah, I'll quickly save, doesn't particularly matter, but still. But yeah, so see you in around 5 minutes. And we're back. Yeah, so we can continue. And guys, we'll talk to the kid here. Who simply says, Nidoran Osuwari. Well, Nidoran is the name of the Pokemon. We'll check it more properly when we get one. Yeah. Hopefully we will catch one ourselves. And then we have Osuwari. Osuwari comes from Suwaru, which means to sit down. Let's see the accent. Unaccented, okay. By extension can also mean then to assume a position, as it to occupy a post. Yeah, you can see why then it can have also that meaning. Yeah, the fundamental one is to sit down, to sit in general, but yeah, to sit down. Here we have the honorific prefix O first. Suwaru is a U verb colon verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form. And yeah, here most certainly implied then Nasai can be, it's clear from the context, as we have heard about the listening to the trainers, or better, not listening. So yeah, here is a command. Sit down. So yeah, most certainly, actually, this is a contraction of Osuwari Nasai. Technically speaking, we have seen that by adding the honorific prefix O, changing the verb into its continuative form to then add Nasaru, we make the it's one of the ways to make the honorific more specifically actually respectful language. But yeah, here actually most likely simply used as a command. I guess this is I haven't seen it much, although I think I might have seen it before for pets. I guess they still use such forms in Japanese. Oh yeah, regardless, we have this Osuwari, but yeah, clearly in that sense. Wanted still to remind you of that other form, even though it's a different usage. But yeah, Nidoran sit down. And then we have this Nidoran male in particular, we have the symbol there. Bow Bow. As the onomatopoeia. I wonder if I find it in the dictionary. It's funny because Bow Bow in Italian would be the barking of a dog, but yeah, clearly not the case here, and even more so because actually the onomatopoeia for the fundamental one in Japanese is 1-1. Bow wow, woof, and so on. Accent on the first more, of course, as usual for these repeated onomatopoeias. Yeah, so most likely also here. But yeah, so clearly, actually, considering the context, yeah, Nidoran is not following the command. Yeah, the TV said the same. Yeah, I think everything here says the same as usual. Yes. Perfect. So yeah, nothing else to check here. We can leave. And so actually talk to this guy again. We'll check this at another point after. And yeah, first we'll try to say yes this time. I don't remember if I think it might bring you there regardless, but we'll say yes first and then no. But yeah, first and foremost, the question here. Kimi wa mo hakubutsu kan kengaku shita? Yeah, first we have Kimi, second person singular pronoun. This is familiar language. Unaccented, so yeah, you in the singular. Topic particle 1. Mo, already. Accented. Also has other meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is already. Then we have Hakubutsu kan, which funny enough, we have seen before. We've even studied its kanji, thanks to Kirby's Adventure. I want to just check one thing, even though that should be the case. Yeah, technically the rule would be that, the U of tsu becomes unaccented because it's between unaccented, barely heard if at all. Because it's between voiced consonants. Yeah, Hakubutsu kan means museum. It comes from Hakubutsu, a Chinese compound. Yeah, unaccented, of course. I think actually, let's check it just to be sure. No, okay, sorry, that I forgot. Yeah, this is one of the weird ones with accents. This one, the accent is on the ku, even. So, Hakubutsu. Can be, well, the original meaning, which is the one actually used here technically, is wide learning, broad area of learning. On its own nowadays would actually be used more as an abbreviation for natural history. But yeah, with its original meaning is found here in Hakubutsu kan, which by the way can be accented either on technically on the tsu itself, if we don't follow the usual tendency of moving the accent when the vowel is barely heard if at all. If we apply that, which is actually better, I'd say, then it moves back, so on the bu. In general, actually, we add kan as the suffix, as we should have mentioned. Kan, when added as a suffix, means building, particularly a large building. In our case, for example, large building of broad learning, a museum. The rule should be when we add kan. Let me quickly see. Oh yeah, okay, confirm it, yeah, as I suspect based on that one, but yeah, in general it is that the case. The accent is before kan itself, and yeah, then of course if we follow the rule of the tendency of not keeping the accent on unvoiced, more as with unvoiced vowels, then it moves further, but yeah, the rule in general is before kan itself. Let me quickly see one thing. Okay, there it is. But yeah. So, the museum, yeah, as I mentioned, we studied even its kanji. And again, now we can find the list of the kanji also on Patreon. I put it as the pinned post so that it's more convenient in case you want to review them, study them if you missed those in the past, other than, of course, doing it on your own. After that, we have Kengaku. Don't think we have seen it before the term. The Ken, I can mention, it's the Chinese reading of the kanji for Miru. That's the strictly Japanese one. So yeah, to see, to look at, to watch. Gaku is the one for learning. The Manabu, where you can find always on the title of this Let's Learn Japanese with the series. So literally learning by seeing, so yeah, study by observation. And so actually, usually a field trip, a tour, can also be an inspection. Okay, Chinese compound, unaccented, as most of those are. Noun, but we can turn it into a verb by adding suru, to do. So yeah, here again it's in its past form, so yeah, shita. So yeah, here he's asking us if, as for you, have you already visited, we could say that by adapting it, inspected, yeah, no, better as in visited the museum. I try to say yes to see what it says. Okay, yeah, no. Unless he does it after I press it again, I think it doesn't bring you there. In this case, we have already seen he does when you say no, but we repeat it because I did it by accident. But yeah, here is saying Otsukimi Yama de Mitsukatta Kaseki no Tenji Sugokatta. First and foremost, we have Otsukimi Yama, Mount Moon. We'll see it better when we get to it. We properly explain its name and so on. Then we have the particle de in at, so location with most verbs. With the ones of staying we use ni instead, but yeah, with the other ones de. Then we have Mitsukatta. So Mitsukaru. I think we have seen its transitive form Mitsukeru. Regardless, the meaning is the same. Mitsukeru, as we have seen, Miru, verb is and verb, so we can drop the root to make the continuative form, required to then attach the second verb part of the compound. Tsukeru, to apply, to attach, and so on. Literally applying, seeing, to spot, and so more in general actually to find, and so on. Here with the intransitive it becomes to be found. Notice that we don't technically attach tsuku, which is the intransitive form of tsukeru. Why that's the case? Actually, because as can be seen also when we translate it, to be found, to be discovered, this Mitsukaru is actually a passive form notice the aru, and so yeah, a classical form of the passive. Yeah, that's why nowadays simply used as the intransitive form of the verb. Regardless, yeah, Mitsukaru should be an accent. Yes, it is. Be careful, despite tsukaru being accented. Usually, you follow the accent of the second verb part of the compound. It's not always the case, unfortunately. There are some exceptions, and Mitsukaru are among those. U-verb, colon verb. Its in root is 1, so we have to follow the rules. Originally, we changed the U into E to make the continuative form. Mitsukarita. But then the E-verb Mitskarta, difficult to pronounce, so double consonant ta. So, past form of the verb. Have been found, have been discovered. After it, a noun. So actually relative close. Noun, which is actually kaseki. Kaseki means is a Chinese compound, and so actually is an accent, so kaseki. The ka, by the way, is the one for to change. Seki, as we see eventually, is the kanji. It's the Chinese reading, of course, Chinese compound. The strictly Japanese reading of the kanji is ishi, which we have seen means stone, rock. Yeah, more specifically stone. So literally changing into stone. It's actually kaseki, the term for fossil. After it, we have the possessive particle no, of fossil, fossils, or simply attach fossil something by following also the order found also in English. In this case, we have tenji. As you might have guessed, is another Chinese compound. Tenji, an accent, yes, like most of those. It means exhibition, display. And then last but not least, we have sugokata. Sugoi again. Clearly nothing terrible in this case, but because it's quite enthusiastic about it. As in terrific, amazing, great, and so on. Sugoi is adjective, so we can drop the I and add ku to make the continuative form, technically speaking, also noun called simply as the adverbial form. A better continuative because it's used also for further conjugation, like in this case. In this case, to add aru, then change into its ta form, so atta. Sugoku atta, now always contracted into sugo katta. Kuatta becomes katta. And so it's actually how you make the ta form of I adjectives. And so yeah, the past form of them in the affirmative. So yeah, here is saying the exhibition of the fossils found at Mount Moon was amazing. Oh yeah, okay. He doesn't bring us with him if we choose yes. This time we'll actually say no. Hi, yes. One of the ways to say yes in Japanese, ie. Notice high accent on the ha, ie. Technical accent on the last mora on the e. Usually used on its own, so it's undistinguishable technically from unaccented words. Like no. So it says eh. So yeah. this is well, technically could be as like in English. I am more as in actually what as an exclamation. Then it says, okay. Soria, zettai itta hoga ii. Yeah, first we have Soria, a contraction of Sorewa. Yeah, first and foremost we have the usual Sore, part of the Kosoado series. Ko goes to both the speaker and the listener. So, far from the speaker goes to the listener. Far from both. Do, the interrogative Koso are usually an accented Do, accent on Do itself. So, those in So and A can also be used for things not present there and simply mentioned. There's a distinction between the two, but we won't focus on that for now. With Re, we get the demonstrative pronoun, so that or those, can be, depending on if we keep it as singular or plural, could be both. After it, the topic particle wa, so literally as for that. More, we could say, if that's the case, yeah, literally speaking in Japanese would be as for that. Yeah, so re wa gets contracted into ria. Still an accent, so ria. Zettai, we should have seen it before. It's relatively common because yeah, it means it's an adverb. Okay, we should be fine. Chinese compound, unaccented. Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, so you can see why it's quite used with that meaning. Then we have itta. In this case, actually from iku. Iku is a U-verb colon verb. Unfortunately, despite being in ku, it's irregular when it comes to the te and ta form because it becomes ta instead of the usual ita for U-verb colon verb in ku. Most likely because it was the usual, we changed the U into ikita. But then instead of the k falling, like usually for verbs in ku, the I fell ikta, difficult to pronounce, so actually became itta. Iku, unaccented, to go. Here in its form, technically past form of the verb, he required because of this expression. After it, we have a ho, a noun, strictly speaking, so yeah, would be another relative clause as usual. Ho would be accented on its own, so the ho can stay the accent on the long on the u, which is actually the long o. Direction, way, side. Also side of an argument, one's part. One side of a comparison. In this case though, well, technically there's a comparison implied, but we'll see it in a second. After that we had the subject particle ga. Last but not least, the adjective I as again good. So yeah, literally it is the side of going is good. So yeah, side as in the sense of a comparison. So, the side of going instead of compared to not going. And yeah, it's good. So yeah, this expression た方がいい、means funny enough, the closest meaning would be you'd better, like in English. Notice that actually in English, even when you don't contract it, would be you had better. So funny enough, it's similar to Japanese, also in that sense that, yeah, it uses the past form of the verb in the negative, because, yeah, you can technically make it also in the negative. There it uses the simple present form of the negative, because, yeah, technically it's better if you you won't reminder again that the present can be also a simple future in Japanese. So in the negative, it's better if you don't or won't do that. In the affirmative, it's better if you had done that. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, so it's here is saying a recommendation. Yeah. Straight up similar to you'd better go absolutely if that's the case. Sorry, what at the start is in the sense. Yeah, straight up brings us there, as we have seen. Yeah, so then it says Koko da yo. Koko, again, part of the Kosodo series, with the ko is this place, so yeah, and simply here. Then we have the copula da, and that's the particle yo, you know. So yeah, he's saying, it's here, you know. Then he says, I actually sent it up that then. Kengaku ni wa nyūjōryō ga iru kedo. First and foremost, we see Kengaku again. Then we have the particle ni, to. In this case would be in order to. And then we, in English, we would apply it as, instead of the noun, strictly speaking in Japanese, we have the noun. Here we would use in English the verb, corresponding verb, by adapting it as saying simply to visit, to inspect, as we have seen, and so on, strictly speaking. Then we have why, again, the topic particle, as for visiting it. As for in order to visit it, strictly speaking, then as we see is required by the following part. And then we have this nyūjōryō. Wonder if I should find it as is also in the dictionary, especially to see its accent, even though this one I check also in the physical dictionary, because yeah, you might have noticed 3 syllables. It's a Chinese compound of 3 kanji. So yeah, actually based on one of 2 kanji, the usual ones, plus a suffix. The first one, the term is nyūjō, which means entrance, as in entering, more specifically. Literally is enter a place. Yeah, the new we have already seen, straight up even studied this kanji, to enter. Go in, come in, to enter. Jo means place. Is the kanji for ba that we have seen in some compounds, some terms with ba. But yeah, so yeah, nyūjō, an accented Chinese compound of 2 kanji as usual. Ryo, means usually used more as a suffix, means fee, charge, rate, accent and technical on its own, ryo. So yeah, this new ryo, the accent of the when adding ryo as a suffix, in this case is before it, and so actually can stay on the u of jo because it's simply the longer vowel, so it's on jo. New ryo. So yeah, low, high, high, and everything else low. I'll quickly check, but yeah, I'm pretty sure straight up the rule for ryo is before it. And yeah, it is pretty easy. Oh yeah, so entrance fee, yeah, straight up that, admission fee, and so on. Subject particle ga. Then we have iru. This one is not the usual one we have seen to be as in to exist of anime things. Notice that here's where we can immediately tell it's not that. Because yeah, anime things, people and animals. This one, iru, is another verb. Also an accent, unfortunately, so we can't distinguish it based on the accent. This one means to be needed, to be necessary, to be required, to need. By extension, also to want. The fundamental meaning is to be needed. It's worth also mentioning that while iru, to be as in to exist, is a ru verbism verb, as typically verbs in iru and eru are ru verbism verbs, this iru is a u verb, codam verb, so yeah, be careful, there are some exceptions to that rule of iru, eru, ru verbism verbs. You simply have to remember the exceptions, unfortunately. You can see it also when conjugated straight up. For example, you might hear it as iranai, the negative form in plain speech. Yeah, that one. Of this one, while inai for to be as in to exist, yeah, you can then see the difference. Yeah, so you is needed, but yeah, because after it we have kedo, but however, accent on the ke, the first mora. Yeah, so far it's saying as for in order to visit it, so yeah, the ni is required by the iru, so yeah, is needed to visit it. Yeah, in order to visit it, an entrance fee is required, but after it actually is only uses za. Not typical, because yeah, usually we have seen at the end za. At the end as the copula, the one used in fiction by old characters. Here I suspect it could be either it could technically be an abbreviation of Janai, the negative form of the copula in plain speech, the one eye then contracting to Janai. It could simply be also the wa on its own, usually longer za than. I'm not sure in this case, to be completely honest. Okay, no. Considering that, I'd say Ja actually is the abbreviation of Ja. Well then, literally, if that's we have De as the third form of the copula, Wa the topic particle. So yeah, if that's the case, being that the case, literally if it being that the case, I suspect that because after that it says Boku wa Koko de. First Boku, first person singular pronoun, better more language, accent on the first more, topic particle wa Koko, this place here. Here I'd say figuratively speaking, so yeah, at this point actually, in at, I'd say, and implied, I'm leaving, so yeah, because of that, we'll say Ja in that sense. Yeah, funny enough, he says, yeah, it requires a fee to enter, but... and then he say, bye! Okay. Oh yeah, actually, we'll check next. Yeah, we definitely don't have time to fully do it today, but we'll start it. Yeah, we'll start checking out these. First, we have the sign, pretty easy. Nibi Kagaku, ha ku butsu kan. Nibi, the name of our city here, Nibishti, Pewter City. Kagaku. I think we might have mentioned it before. It can be two, based on the context. There are two Kagaku, the most common ones. Both accent on the first mora, Chinese compounds. So yeah, the second most common accent for those. The first one is science in general. The second one is chemistry. The second one, by the way, the first ka, the ka is actually the kanji for to change. So yeah, you can see why. Gaku is again the one to learn. So yeah, learning. So yeah, then study. So yeah, used also for subjects like in our case science and chemistry. So chemistry, the study of changing. So yeah, you can see why. But yeah, no, in this case I'd say most likely science in general. Ha ku butsu kan again, so yeah, museum. So yeah, the Pewter Science Museum. Oh yeah, we'll enter it. Oh yeah, when we try to enter it, yeah, as usual we have on the top left our allowance, as we have already seen. How many money we have. This character says, the receptionist says, hi hi, kodomo wa kengaku ryo 50 yen desu. Okay, this one we can, I take also the other dictionary. Yeah, got the other physical dictionary, as you might have guessed, for the numeral plus counter combination to check it. This one we can check in a sense. But yeah, first we have a hi hi. Hi repeated twice. yeah, the one we've seen for, yes, technically. So yeah, I actually used it's colloquial, repeating it twice. Because yeah, it's yeah, can be used in that sense, as in whatever, sure. Yeah, literally, let's keep that in mind, fundamentally. It can also be used, it's not the typical one, on the phone, as a reply. But yeah, the usual expression there is moshi moshi, as we'll see again, but we'll see it properly when the time comes for that. Accent on the first more at that. Yeah, like this one, by the way. Yeah, after that it says kodomo wa. Hi hi, kodomo wa kengaku ryo 50 yen desu. Yeah, kodomo wa, kodomo, child, children. And yeah, strictly speaking, oh yeah, it's the term for child, children. The one usually used, on its own would already mean that, but yeah, nowadays we use kodomo usually instead. Of course, because it's longer and so it's less ambiguous technically. Topic particle 1. Kengaku ryo again, so yeah, visiting all the meanings we have seen for kengaku. Ryo again, so fi. The accent so should be before ryo itself, so on the ku. Wonder if I find it straight up also in the dictionary. I wonder, but we have already seen straight up in the physical dictionary the rule confirmed for yeah, no, couldn't find this one specifically for ryo before ryo itself, so yeah, pretty easy. Then we have goju en, yeah, this is the one I wanted to check. 50 go 5 ju 10 5 tens, so yeah, 50 n. He weirdly enough not written with the kanji, unlike above, as you can see, and we've seen also when characters were speaking. I wonder if it's intentional in the sense that it's talking to us and we are a kid. But yeah, I wanted to check. Well, goju I can check simply in the online dictionary. Yeah, simply accent on the ju. Goju, low, high, because on the ju, and then low for the longer u. The accent for 10 plus yen is ju yen, unaccented. So yeah, my guess would be also for this 50 go ju yen, still unaccented. Can't confirm it unfortunately, but yeah, that would be my guess. Last but not least, the copula in polite speech, des. So here is saying, as for the as for children, the visiting fee is 50 yen. And then it asks simply, Kengaku shimasu ka? Yeah, Kengaku again. Verb suru to make it into a verb. Then we change its into its continuative form shi. And then to add mass, the auxiliary used to make the polite form of verbs. To make it in polite speech here, like this we have seen before. Add interrogative particle. The question mark to mark also the intonation here. Are you visiting or will you visit the museum? We first say no. If you say no, it simply says Mata kitene. Mata again. An accent. We've even studied its kanji, even though nowadays it's usually not used. Unaccented. Then we have kite, which comes from kuru, to come, accented. Completely irregular. So we have to remember that its continuity form is ki. Notice similar to suru, which is shi, kuru, ki. And then we simply attach the, luckily, for the te form, apart from the irregularity of the continuity form, then they work like reverbs and verbs, so really easy. The E is barely heard if at all because it is between our voice consonants, so the accent also moves kite on the te. Te form here require most certainly implying a kudasai, verb of giving, technically, after the te form, do the favor of, implied also, usually not mentioned, but it would originally add then kudasai would be the continuity form of kudasaru, because then we would add masse, the imperative form of mass. But yeah, so simply please do the action of the verb in te. Well, strictly speaking, please do the favor of doing the action of the verb in te. Yeah, when you find the te form at the end of a sentence, usually it's an implied te kudasai. Last but not least, there's the final sentence particle. Okay. In this case, it's saying. So yeah, here is saying, please come again. Okay. Yeah, if you say no, you get pushed down, of course. So yeah, we'll actually say yes here. Yeah, so he says then, Hi, 確かに50円いただきました。Hi, yes again. 確かmeans is an adjective. Accent on the first molar, 確か. The E barely heard if at all because it's written on voice consonants. Sure, certain, positive, definite, and so on. By extension, also reliable, trustworthy. Also used as an adverb on its own, without any, unlike here usually. For, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, so yeah, if I remember rightly, so yeah. If it is, and implied if it is correct, yeah, here we have the ni, so actually marked that it's an adverb, yeah, to make the and by the way, usually there is the distinction tashka on its own as an adverb with that meaning as mentioned, if I remember correctly, and so on. By adding ni, so making the regular form for the adverb for this, na adjective uses ni. Most likely this ni is actually a continuative form of the classical form of the copula nari, from which na of the na adjectives also comes naru, an abbreviation of that. But yeah, with the ni, usually it means surely, certainly. Then go to n again. And then last but not least, itadakimashita. From itadaku. We check its accent. It means to receive. Humble form of the verb, yeah. The regular receive is morau, as we have seen, unaccented. Itadaku, also unaccented, yes. Okay, I remember correctly. Is the humble form. Cioè, perfect here for the receptionist here talking to a client. The client is Soto, the outsider. The museum as a whole, so including this one, this receptionist is Uchi, the internal. Yeah, this is so for their own actions they use humble forms. Yeah, as you can see here. By extension, by the way, itadaku is also used to eat, to drink. So literally receiving the food and then implied eating, drinking it. But yeah, then straight up used as the humble form for to eat, to drink. Yeah, you have most certainly heard it before. Itadakimasu at the start of meals in Japanese. But yeah, here simply straight up to receive. U verb, colon verb, so we can change the U into I to make the continuative form to add mashita. So yeah, mas, it's the form. Notice that it's simply we change the U into I and then add ta. So yeah, like U verb, colon verb in su. Past form of the verb in polite speech. So yeah, here is saying, yes, I've surely received 50 yen. He checked. Oh yeah, so we can. Yeah, I wanted to speak because I thought it would say at least a little something else. And yeah, he says, Goyukuri dozo. I try to find it, if I can find it, as is in the online dictionary, to see if I can then find also its accent. Okay. First, we have yukuri. One of those onomatopoeias ending in ri. Luckily, when that's the case, the accent is always before ri itself. Yukuri. An adverb which means slowly, unhurriedly, without haste, leisurely, easily, in time, sufficiently, and so on. But yeah, the fundamental meaning would be technically slowly, as in without haste, and then by extension also the other ones. Yeah, can also then be well, for example, sleep well, or comfortably. Also can be used with suru, make a verb with suru for that meaning. But yeah, here we have before it the honorific prefix go. And notice, yeah, this is one of the exceptions. The rule usually is o for words of strictly Japanese origin. We've seen it, for example, with verbs like osuwari today, we've seen. Go with those of Chinese origin, Chinese compounds more often than not. This is an exception. Yukuri is of strictly Japanese origin, uses go as the honorific prefix. You simply have to remember it. Might be influenced influenced because of its length. I don't know. Yeah, it's an exception. The accent. Okay, it's not shown there. I'll quickly check it. If the physical dictionary has it. I search first the Yukuri, maybe it shows it there. Let me quickly find it. Yukuri. Okay, found it, but not that. Let me search it for with the go before it. If it's present, I doubt it at this point, but who knows? Go Yukuri. My guess would be that it keeps the accent of Yukuri on its own, but unfortunately these honorific prefixes sometimes make word unaccented. We have seen some examples of that. So yeah, it's not certain at all, unfortunately. Yeah, no, it's not present, unfortunately. But yeah. Last but not least, we have then Dozo. Technically from do, how, in what way. Okay, another word of the Kosovo series, accented on do as per the rule. With zo, a final sentence particle technically is straight up and not as in its usual usage. Usually it's made of more language. As force or indicates command. Well, the meaning may be actually from that because to also means please. Or we could say I beg you. By all means, go ahead and so on. So yeah, all these meanings. Also, by the way, here you are when handing something to someone. So yeah, here please implied with the verb suru, take your time. So yeah, please take your time, and we actually do that. I move away just to be sure that I avoid it. I avoid getting back there and actually show a little preview here. But yeah, here we save at this point. So yeah, we check it next time. Okay, can close the game. And yes, so today we continued going around Pewter City. Unsurprisingly, we still have more of it. As we have seen at the end, there we have the museum also. So yeah, there's that. And yeah, next time, which will be for this series on Friday, we'll first and foremost check out the museum, and then we'll continue the rest of Pewter City in general. Of course, before that, on Wednesday, we'll also continue our other current Let's Learn Japanese with series, Star Fox, the Super Famicom one. That's why I have it here on the side. Oh yeah. See you next time.